Hello there. I am back to continue the tour of all of our collections because we are, as you can probably see behind me back there, ignore the mess. We are in the process of getting ready to move out of Florida, so I wanted to continue our tour today, kind of for my own posterity, just so I can kind of see setups, what I like to display, how and where, and all that good stuff. But also to kind of just show our collections, because it's kind of fun, in my opinion, to like share what you're into, what your interests are. Not in like a bragging kind of way, but I don't know. I like watching videos of other people's collections to be like, oh, I need to get that, or oh, I need to make my setup kind of like that. I don't know. Maybe just as like a source of inspiration. So today I wanted to continue the running theme that's been the past couple months of my dinosaur collection here. And then I can transition to other collections next time. But today I wanted to touch on the Dinoland dinosaur collection. So I'm just gonna jump into it. Eventually, I have much grander plans of this becoming an entire room. So hopefully we can get there one day. I mean, not hopefully, we will get there one day. So this is what we have for now, and I'll just start here in the center of the room. This right here, if you watched my trip out to Forever Vintage, I don't know, over a month ago now, but this table and chair set is, of course, I say of course, but you may not know, but is from Restaurantosaurus itself in Dinoland. This table and chair set was in the lodge section, the fishing lodge section of Restaurantosaurus. So that was my favorite room section, whatever you want to call it, in the restaurant. So I had to grab it. I spent hundreds of hours, I kid you not, in Restaurantosaurus reading those books over there, which we'll get to soon, sitting in these chairs at this table. And most of the time I packed my own food, so I was eating whatever snacks I brought, but eating what I brought, reading my books right here at this table in Restaurantosaurus. So I had to get it. And then to continue, I guess we'll go this we just picked up at Dinosaur World out in Plant City, which is only like 30 minutes from where we are for the moment until we move. So I picked this up. It was really affordable, and it's like a solid statue of a Triceratops skeleton. So I picked that because there was a similar statue, not quite the same, in Restaurantosaurus, so I wanted to grab it. But the Triceratops is on the logo of the Dino Institute, so I was like, it's perfect. I had to get it. So I'll just come over here to this shelf in this area for now. Another reference to Restaurantosaurus. If you remember, they had two. They weren't tyrannosaurs. I think they might have been allosaurs, but this is a tyrannosaur. Two of them with a cheeseburger in between their teeth fighting over it. So for now, I have the one tyrannosaur with a cheeseburger. So I'll probably get a second one and have them fight over it as a reference to Restaurantosaurus. And then eventually I'm going to have to open this, but I'm waiting till, of course, we get moved and we get set up. But this is a T-Rex model, fake, toy skull. So get that out on display too. And we come over here. My favorite dinosaur of all time, the Carnotaurus. Of course, this is the one they sold in Dinoland at the gift shop. So I had to get it, especially because it just says it's from Dinoland on it right there. That's pretty cool. I picked up these coasters off of Etsy, so I had to grab those because I collect a lot of coasters anyway. So for other collections, so I had to get a dinosaur coaster for the dinosaur collection. And if we kind of move down the top layer, I guess, and we'll go shelf by shelf. I've had this book since I was a kid in the 90s dinosaurs are still awesome, but they were all the rage in the 90s when Sue was kind of discovered. And of course, there's a whole history between Sue and the Field Museum, which is where Sue is now, and McDonald's and Dinoland and Disney. So there's a whole history there. I won't get into it here, but I've had this book since I was a kid because I've always been fascinated with dinosaurs, and Dinoland added fuel to that fascination. And then this book I bought recently, before the land closed, so I guess maybe 6-ish months ago now, but Brent Dodge is the author, and he did not miss a thing. He went and cataloged every single inch in detail of Dinoland, and it's all there in that book. So I highly recommend it. It's on Etsy. It's only like $15, so highly recommend getting that. It's a good read too. If you missed some details in Dinoland or don't know the whole story, get that. That will explain it better than almost anything I've come across. I grabbed a sticker off of Etsy too. I got a bunch of these dinosaurs in my collection from like the 80s. Like, look how goofy they are. I just love the silliness of them. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Dinosaur World a little bit. How so goofy and derpy. I used derpy a lot when I was there, but derpy they are. Like, look at this guy. Look at his face. Doesn't want to focus on him. He's so derpy. It doesn't there. Look at his face. Look at his. What is that foot? Like, who made these? They're ridiculous. But I've had them since I was a kid. So I brought them here, and they're kind of, I guess, fighting or high-fiving. I don't know what they're doing. But then, I'm not going to cover everything, because there's so many things. I can't give you the detailed backstory between every piece in this collection. But this Iguanodon Aladar figure is from the McDonald's that kind of used to be Restaurantosaurus in Animal Kingdom. So there's a Styracosaurus I need to get to. Oh no, I lied. It was a Triceratops, I think. Ooh, I don't know. It's one of the two. Either way, I have to get that figure to add to this collection. Now this is not the exact one in Restaurantosaurus, but there was a Zini sipper cup in Restaurantosaurus in the hip joint. So Zini, of course, is one of the lemurs from the movie Dinosaur. So they slapped him on a cup, and then that cup was in Restaurantosaurus, so I bought a cup for myself to kind of pay homage to that. And it's just a cool cup to have. I love it. Now, this is one of the closing items that they were selling, so I bought everything. The hat, the shirt, the pin, the magnet. What else? I guess the water bottle. I think that's it. So I bought one of everything. I have the water bottle here. I'm probably never going to use it. It's just going to be on display here forever, I guess. But I love the logo in there. And of course, my guy, the Carnotaurus in the middle. I'll touch on this here because our friend Matt made a bunch of these flyers and was handing them out on Extinction Day. So he was kind enough to give us one. So it's really cool. It's like a brochure advertising in-universe the Time Rover and the Dino Institute and yada yada, all the story. This is cool. It's going to be part of the whole themed room where I'm going to have hard hats and lab coats hanging from the wall. So I put a sticker on a hard hat, and it just looks like it's in universe. Here's one of the Aladar plush that they had at Dinorama that we won. Collection of Parasaurolophus figures. The T-Rex hand puppet back there, and then this T-Rex is from that same McDonald's that was in Restaurantosaurus in Animal Kingdom. And there's another reference there to McDonald's, Restaurantosaurus history. Not entirely sure the history of these figures, but they are very old. I've had it for a while, so I was like, it's perfect to throw on the shelf here. Another one of the plush from Chester and Hester's here that I had to win. We didn't win and get all of them, but we basically got all the ones that we really wanted. So I'm happy with that. And then some of the dinosaur books I've acquired. I've got a million more books too that aren't on display. I gotta get more shelves and get the whole room set up eventually. With all the books and all the figures and all the stuff. So let's move over to this side of the room. It's not really a room yet. It's more of just our living space, but kind of dining space. I don't know. Whatever. Come over here. We ate at T-Rex Cafe a while ago, also here on the YouTube channel, so we grabbed a couple things. We grabbed another shot glass, a mug, a cup they have. Picked this up off of Etsy. Very awesome poster. Highly recommend it. It's very in-universe. And on this table is where I have, so far, all of the recreations of props that I have from the land. So here is, I did these by hand. So this was on one of the bulletin boards in Restaurantosaurus for Hawaiian Shirt Day. It's tomorrow, a day that never came in Dinoland. But it was fun to make that. It was really cool and easy to do, too. Same with this one. This was on one of the bulletin boards outside of Restaurantosaurus, over near the Boneyard, depicting one of the land exclusive characters, Animal. So he's been caught with a cooler of who knows what, beverages of some sort, and yeah, he's explaining it to a professor. So Animal, in his typical fashion, caught off guard there. And this too was an impromptu addition to Restaurantosaurus that I think a cast member that worked there just put up on a bulletin board. It was actually on a clipboard, but I think I don't know, I've never had it confirmed or denied, but I think this is a replica of it I made and tweaked myself. I changed a lot of the bottom parts here. But anyway, if you go and find, there's pictures of it online. There's some on my Instagram, but I think a Restaurantosaurus cast member just put this on a clipboard in the plaster room of Restaurantosaurus. So my representation and reproduction of it here. Oh, and then this magnet, literally 2 days ago on Friday, this is an official Disney magnet. They just started selling this 2 days ago for some reason at World of Disney at Disney Springs. So with our discount, it was only $10. So I was like, I'm buying it no matter what, but $10? I hope it sells out. I hope the people in charge see that it sold out and they're like, wow, people actually really love Dinoland. We messed up. I hope that can happen. We'll see. I did my part. I bought one. And I don't like giving them money hardly ever, except for these rare instances. So before we move on to the next shelf, this is my little Styracosaurus collection. 2 little Styracosaurus figures. This is like a part plush, part like, well, she's still a plush, but this is like harder plastic of Ema, Styracosaurus from the movie Dinosaur. And a little button that featured the Styracosaur picture you would see outside of Dinosaur. And then this is one of the plushes that you would win in Dinoland before they added the plushes that we just saw on that last shelf, before they changed them to those. I like the newer ones better, not this version, but I was like, glad I have this one because it's still, as silly as it sounds, it's still part of the history. So they had the silly ones first before they had the ones on that last shelf. All right, we'll come over. This is probably hard to pick, but it's probably my favorite shelf. I'll start from the top and kind of work our way down. So here, I'll start here anyway. So here, this was from Extinction Day. The second to last ride I ever had on Dinosaur, in this picture here. With our friends. We knew everyone in this ride vehicle except the 2 people in the front row there. We didn't know who they were. And then I added, it's kind of a miniature shadow box. So I added these 2 figures on the inside of a Tyrannosaurus and a Stegosaurus fighting. Although they in life never lived at the same time, so that's like a common misconception. I won't get into paleontology debates here, of course, or not really debate, but just facts. But that is more of a reference to Ellen's Energy Adventure and the classic 1964 World's Fair Primeval World diorama of a Stegosaurus and a Tyrannosaurus fighting. And then there's 2 pins here of a Styracosaurus, which is, of course, on the attraction, and an Iguanodon pin, which is, of course, the main character of the movie and the attraction. I kept one of the game tickets there from Dinorama. Now, here's more McDonald's toys, but these ones were not from Dinoland itself. These were done around the time of the 50th, I want to say, so 2021-ish. So I have one out of package and one in the package, but very cool little time rover. A few fast passes, of course. And this was from the 25th of Animal Kingdom, one of the very last dinosaur pins they ever made. Now this is sick because they sold this in the park way back in the 90s, like 98, 99, before they changed the name from Countdown to Extinction to Dinosaur. So it's gonna be hard to do here. It opens up, hard to do one-handed. It opens up and you can see the Carnotaurus in there chasing Mickey. Very weird depictions of the Carnotaurus and the Iguanodon, but that's 90s for you, man. I love it. So I had to grab that. So it's actually the only reference to Countdown to Extinction right there I have on the entire shelf and the entire collection. So very cool little piece. More of the plushies from Dinorama, and the hat, of course. I had to buy the hat. Now we'll come to the lower parts of the shelf here. On each level, just as kind of a silly nod and like Easter egg hunt kind of, I have hidden 2 creatures that are not dinosaurs. 2 on each level. So there's 1 Dimetrodon and 1 mammoth on each of the levels that's kind of mixed in. So it's kind of they're not hard to find, but it's kind of a fun little thing. So here is the shelf section that focuses primarily on the movie Dinosaur, all the hand puppets, of course, from McDonald's toys. Here we have the time rover they sold in the land, the dinosaur pin, and the dinosaur magnet. Come over here, they sold this in the gift shop too in the land, had to grab the figures and the press pennies. We come down to this shelf. This shelf is all Triceratops. I put every Triceratops that I have here, except for the skeleton on the table, of course. This one's from the 80s. I love it. This features my Carnotaurus collection. Carnotaurus is my favorite dinosaur, so I threw them all on one shelf because I love them. Now here are my Michael Crichton dinosaur-related books. Jurassic Park, of course, but little known, Dragon Teeth. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of dinosaurs and paleontology and history. I just finished rereading it, actually, and it definitely deserves to be a movie. It's really good. Or a TV series, even. So we'll come down here. We have our Dinotopia collection by James Gurney. Underrated dinosaur media. We actually bought that dinosaur book while we were in Japan, so that's just a cool little souvenir I brought back because Japan loves dinosaurs. And this is all ceratosaurs too, my ceratosaur collection here and here. And then I put all my sauropods down here in this little collection with Gertie, of course, because Gertie, not from Dinoland, but a famous sauropod in her own right. If you look up Windsor McKay and the history of Gertie, it's fascinating. So yeah, that is the Dinoland dinosaur collection. I cannot wait. I have grander plans, like I said, to make it a whole in-universe themed room one day once we get moved and situated, so I can't wait to do that eventually. So next time I'll probably be moving on to the more Pirates of the Caribbean collection and then probably the Star Wars collection, so look forward to that coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may the stars light your way.